Hi everyone, welcome to the fifth installment of this series of videos in which I explore and share my adventures in the Philippines. Once again, we're in Coron, and I seem to be trekking up this overlook, this viewpoint destination. Climb a billion stairs, and you get a view of the city, which, if you recall, while I was in El Nido, there was a very similar overlooking viewpoint. So I'm just remembering that right now, where you take the canopy walk and you can see the bay, the city. It's a very similar thing, but this is not a canopy walk. This is more of a hike. And by the way, I was very under expecting how I was not prepared for how difficult this would be. It wasn't difficult, but I just basically should have brought water, is the only thing I would say. There's 500 steps up. And by the way, I would say, I should say that I was prepared to walk up this thing, but I didn't expect that I would go venturing off further than what the viewpoint is expecting you to do. I took an extra excursion, which you'll see in a minute. Here we are at the top, and you can see that big cross which lights up at night, and you can see it from down in the town, in the valley below. So there it is, Coron. A much bigger town than El Nido. Pardon me. A much more industrial town, I will say. So I remember this pretty well. I remember kind of liking this view more than the town view, which is like, the hills and valleys and mountains off in the background, in the back, in the distance. And I saw, which I don't know if you can see from this video, but I saw, like, up on those hills, like a trail. So I was like, I'm walking that trail. And it's deceptively longer than I thought. I'm still walking around the peak of this outlook. Yep, see, look, I'm actually, like, showing you, so you can't really see it. Maybe you can, but there's a little walking trail, which is more pronounced and less pronounced along this little hike that I took. This walk sticks out in my memory for some reason. I definitely enjoyed this. I just remembered that I recommended this to a girl who I knew at the place that I was staying, and she said that she was going to the Outlook or the Overlook or whatever it's called, and I told her about this trail behind the thing and that she should take it, and she did. And then when I ran into her later, she said it was a terrible time and a terrible idea, and it was because she went up here for sunset, and so when she started walking this trail, it was dark. That is, of course, a bad idea. Drenched in sweat. Absolutely drenched. The color of that shirt is not that color. That's pure wetness. So here's a view back to you can see the cross and like the cell phone tower over there. So here we are back at like the start of this stair set. 700 something steps to the top, 700 down. I don't know really what this is, but eating a big fruit on the side of the road. I think maybe I was just off. Oh look, another fruit. That's a mango. I'm a fruit. I mean, if I took all the footage of all the fruit that I eat on these trips, it would be a full fruit themed video. I mean, I eat fruit every time I see a fruit. I eat it. Which I was very unhealthy. Obviously I don't get like any footage of the food or anything too, but because it's just too much. Like even this is already too much, but I was fully unhealthy. Like I would just eat whatever I wanted, as much as I wanted. Dessert every day, every meal, pancakes every whatever. But if you wanted to eat healthy, you could eat really fresh fish, grilled fish every meal. You could eat good breakfast, which is like eggs and bacon. You could eat fruit, and you could be healthy on this trip if you want to. But there we are again, big old orange. So my month of eating whatever I want off the rails, eating and drinking, was well documented in terms of how much weight I gained. So I didn't exercise, or I didn't work out. I would say that I got exercise just by walking around, just by doing all this stuff, but I did not work out in any gym or anything like that. And so whenever I left, I weighed myself right before I left, and then whenever I got back, I weighed myself. The amount of weight that I gained was 0 pounds. And that made me think, by the way, I guess I went to the beach. I guess I'm just touring around, just exploring the island. Went to a beach, ate a bunch of fruit, driving around. But so when I realized that I gained 0 pounds for a month of eating a lot and whatever I want, I was a little bit shocked, and I was like, okay, I'm back in the Americas, back in the US of A. I'm just going to keep it going. I'm just going to continue eating whatever I want. Just burgers, just whatever. And I did for 2 weeks. And I weighed myself at the end of that 2 weeks, and I had gained 10 pounds in 2 weeks eating whatever I want in America. I don't know what that means or how that data is flawed, but that's my truth. That's my experience. Alright, so here we are. This is a diving trip this is reggae diving. Reggae Divers, which was such a cool place, such a cool bus. I better get a view of that bus. It's like a reggae themed bus. Come on, turn around. Yep, totally didn't. What a fool. As you can see, even this little boat is painted the reggae colors. I bought one of their reggae shirts, and it's now my favorite shirt. Reggae Divers. Of course, checking the hair. I guess this is gonna be my second dive trip. Trying to remember if this is 2 days worth of diving or one. We'll find out. I basically did one dive in each, or like one dive trip that could be 1 or 2 days. Multiple dives each day. But one dive excursion for each location that I went to. For each separate island of the Philippines, which I spent time in. And Coron is another very well beloved dive location for shipwrecks. So there's a bunch of ships from World War I, II, III, that are all sunk from violence. Here we go, diving down. Looking pretty hot right there. It's the eyes. I miss scuba diving. I long daily to be under the sea. I think the visibility was not so hot on this day. It's always different depending on all the variation, all the things that disrupt visibility, whatever they are, the weather, the boat traffic, I don't know, but they talk about that all the time. Like one day this could be very clear, one day this could be very cloudy. And when you're going to shipwrecks, well, really whatever you're doing, you kind of want the visibility to be great, but Mother Nature has a way. I think at this point I am much more comfortable and competent with my diving. I think the previous day, oh look, his flipper's not latched. I'm a horrible dive buddy. I didn't even notice that at the time. But I just bought the GoPro case that you need for diving in Coron, and I remember thinking, I remember how much it cost. So I borrowed one for the first dive from the dive shop, and then for this trip, previous to this trip, I was like, I'm gonna go buy one. So I found one, and I bought it, and it was 1,000 pesos. And I remember thinking, oh, I see how it is. You're screwing me because you think I don't and so I thought that was a lot of money. Because nothing I had ever purchased was 1,000 pesos until I bought that, and I was like, you're gouging me. But I never care. I never haggle. I never... Whatever the case is, it's a mindset thing for me. I don't want to think about that at all. So I pay it, but I'm going, I know what you're doing, And then I find out that like that GoPro case is actually like, in the US it would be like $60, $50-$60 or something like that. And I looked up, the exchange, and it's like was a perfectly cheap price for that item. So egg on my face, I guess. Thankfully I didn't actually say anything, because then I would have been a real asshole, not just an inside the head asshole. I guess just because it's just a little plastic case, I thought this should be very cheap. But it's really not that cheap. It's actually a costly bit of equipment. Not costly, but not $5 like I thought it would be. The GoPro is waterproof, by the way, but you need a case for this pressure at this depth. So you couldn't take a GoPro down here without the protective case from this immense weight of the water. Why are we able to be down here and not having our little bodies crushed? Who knows? It's like I have to equalize my eardrums, or else my eardrums get crushed. But why is that it? Why is it not like anything else happening? I mean, I do know that other things are happening, like your blood is getting... I don't know what happens. But something's happening to your blood where you have to, like... I forgot. I'm really sorry. I should have my scuba diving license revoked. I think what's happening is like you're getting bubbles in your blood, and then you have to do these decompression, like, waiting periods before you come to the surface, because those bubbles will expand in your blood if you don't do these decompression stops at certain depths. So that's happening when you're down here. And the deeper you go, the longer you have to do these decompression stops. And it's all on your little dive computer, so it's telling you, like, as you're down here, it's adding time to your decompression stop. Which for us was always like 5 minutes or 3 minutes or something like that. But if you go deep down, the deeper you go and the longer time, the longer your decompression stop is going to be. So it's bad visibility, but you can see this ship. And I don't know how bad, this is compared to a good day. Obviously, they were saying it's bad, but, they do this on a regular basis, the dive masters and stuff. So I think that's like the wall of a ship. Yeah. You can see like the rim of the ship, like the railing of the ship or whatever. Hopefully my camera doesn't die before this video ends. I don't know what that is, but it's something that he felt worthy of pointing out. It's like the bow of the ship. If I remember correctly, there's 13 warships sunken around Coron. Which, this evening, I would find myself at a trivia night. And that's why I know that fact. It was one of the questions. If the camera does die, I'll probably just let the video play out without me unnecessarily blabbing out nonsense. Oh wow, died. I can still speak, I guess. If I was really prepared for these, I would have, recorded and remembered which ships we're looking at, what locations we're diving in. It's just not the way. For me to be prepared is not the way. For me to go the extra mile. Hi, fish. I like that fish. Look at this fish attacking everyone. Watch, it's about to start biting my arm. It's trying to. Then it's biting my fingers. Son of a bitch. There we have it, folks. That's the end of the video. On to the next video we go. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a human.